Welcome to the MSAD 46 video tutorial series. My name is Matt Drewette-Card. I'm the Curriculum Director for MSAD 46, and this video will be talking explicitly about digital citizenship. Digital citizenship is an important part of MSAD 46, as all students are expected to be effective and good digital citizens. It is also part of our evaluation system. So this video series of digital citizenship is designed to go over some of the basics of digital citizenship, what it is, why it's important, the standards for both students and teachers, how it connects to our evaluation system, and then what resources might be available. So very quickly, a definition of digital citizenship from two major sources. First, from Common Sense Media. Digital citizenship is helping students take ownership of their digital lives. That student voice, student choice, and learner agency portion, not just in the academic classroom world, but in the digital world as well. And from ISTE, that students recognize the rights, responsibilities, and opportunities of living, learning, and working in an interconnected digital world, and they act and model in ways that are safe, legal, and ethical. This is what it means to be a digital citizen. And we expect our students to act this way in the physical world. We should also expect them to act this way in the digital world. However, they require different tools. They require different approaches. And so that's why we're doing an explicit look, an explicit exploration and attempts at educating in terms of digital citizenship. It's important because there's a level of respect. We expect respect when we're having conversations, the whole look me in the eye, shake your hand, etc. There's etiquette involved. When you go to a dinner, there's etiquette involved. There's etiquette online as well. And we need to not just assume that the students have learned these things, but that we model and teach it in a way as well. How to access things. For example, not hacking into someone else's Wi-Fi. That's disrespectful. Waiting for passwords, asking for passwords. But also along with that, what are the laws? And that there are rules and laws about digital citizenship that we must follow, just like in the person-to-person analog world. Digital citizenship is important because we have to educate ourselves. Digital literacy is different than analog literacy. Digital communication is different than verbal communication. E-commerce is different than going to Rennie's. They're very different things, and so we have to approach them differently and understand how they work. Also, protecting yourself. That understand a student does have rights and responsibilities when they're online. That it's not just a place open for 100% free speech all the time, just like we don't have it in person. Security. How do you take care of yourself? How do you protect your information? How do you protect yourself? And also using digital citizenship, understanding how to take care of yourself and others in the digital world. Having that empathy first mindset, not just in person, but in the digital world as well. So according to ISTE, there are two sets of standards. The first is for students, and students cultivate and manage their digital identity and reputation and are aware of the permanence of their actions in the digital world. That students engage in positive, safe, legal, and ethical behavior when using technology, including social interactions online or when using networked devices. The students demonstrate an understanding of and respect for rights and obligations of using and sharing intellectual property. That's a big one, attribution. For example, if you do a Google image search and you're trying to bring in pictures to your Google Slides, are you allowed to use those pictures? How do you know how to check that? So it's that level of owning or understanding ownership of intellectual property. And students manage their personal data to maintain digital privacy and security and are aware of data collection technology used to track their navigation online. In other words, your stuff never goes away. So be careful what you put out there. Because if an app says it goes away, yeah, it doesn't. Same as for educators. To create experiences for learners to make positive, socially responsible contributions and exhibit empathetic behavior online that build relationships and communities. So it's less about what the actual doing is, it's more about creating experiences and environments for learners to understand and practice and play with how to do that. To establish a learning culture that promotes curiosity, critical examination of online resources, and fosters digital literacy and media fluency. In other words, how do you identify fake news? How do we know how to read things online? Media fluency. What does media fluency mean? Is it just reading, or are there other ways of accessing and understanding things? Where do you get your sourcing from? Mentor students in safe, legal, and ethical practices with digital tools and the protection of intellectual rights and property, again, that level of safety and attribution. And model and promote management of personal data and digital identity and protect student data privacy. Passwords, how to create good passwords, how to manage those passwords. So how does this connect to our evaluation system? MSAD 46 has a unique educator evaluation or educator effectiveness system. And in particular, it's all about the evidence. We have 5 different components of our educator effectiveness system, 2 of which we use eye observation to collect our evidence. That's an overall professional practice through our observations, informal walkthroughs, formal. Also our deliberate practice, which is also known as the growth plan, that our educators do every year, both teachers and administrators. And so those 2 areas are collected through eye observation, those data. But the other data that are collected are done in different ways. They can be done in a crate-like portfolio with manila folders and stuff like that, or they can be done digitally through Google Drive or some other means. So it connects to our evaluation system because one of the components has to do with technology, the integration and education of technology. And the steering committee established that the ISTE standards would be the educator standards for this particular part of the evaluation system. In the first couple of years that it was implemented, it was all over the map with how technology integration and education was being done for the PEPG system. So for the year 2018-2019, that school year, the steering committee decided that they wanted to make digital citizenship a minimum requirement for evidence, meaning that they believed that digital citizenship was so important for all students that everyone needed to have a focus on it. Because you can do digital citizenship, you don't have to be one-to-one in order to be to promote, to model, create experiences, a culture of learning around digital citizenship. You don't have to be one-to-one. You can do things analog, offline. Now, if a teacher wanted to demonstrate additional standards alongside of the digital citizenship one, go for it. Go right ahead. Nothing's stopping them. But at a minimum, they must be showing digital citizenship. Now, resources that are available, the best 2 places to go are ISTE.org and commonsense.org. ISTE.org is the house of all the standards that we use for our PEPG system. They kind of give the end goals. Common Sense has a curriculum, has a means by which to get to those goals. And this is a great opportunity for you to screenshot this, pause this, write these down. If nothing else, just go to Google and Google in ISTE or digital citizenship resources, and you find these sources, ISTE or Common Sense Media, and that's where I would recommend going to. There's a lot out there for digital citizenship. It's really important. All of our students need to learn how to do this and grow up in an environment where it's not just a separate component of what we teach, but it's embedded into our teaching that we do all the time. For more information, or if you want to contact us about this issue, you can go to aos94.org and leave us a comment or leave us a message. You can also drop us a line on Twitter at aos94me or on Facebook, facebook.com/aos94me. Thank you so much. This concludes the digital citizenship portion of our video tutorial series. I'm Matt Drewette-Card. Thanks again for watching.